Up, we are going to be having a small field here tonight for this weekend's event of RPL Formula One here at Belgium. Just 14 participants taking on in tonight's festivities. Yesterday we had just 12 from Tier 2, but this is where things will get pretty interesting, as people are going to be scrambling to get some more points onto the board and get some things rolling, and fun times are in store. So, this is RPL Formula 1 here at Spa. This will be the halfway point of the season once this race is complete. Let's get this show on the road. Dan Ironwolf on hand for comms tonight, and here we go. So, last week was at Silverstone, and initially the race winner was Skither, along with Raphael in second, and Cookie was second, and Raphael was in third. Unfortunately, Skither and Raphael both got penalties for instance that had occurred. That wound up having Cookie getting his 38th Tier 1 win of his career in RPL, reties with Skither for second all-time. Skither had to settle for second place, while Alex Norris wound up getting himself into third. So let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship here tonight. So Cookie extends his championship lead even further over Gecko. It is 145 points is the spot right now, and we have a tie for second between Shorts and Gecko with 99 points to their credit. Willow fell down to third. He's sitting at 93. He's not here again tonight, so he's going to slip even further behind. And Reese is currently sitting in fifth with 72. In the Constructors, McLaren continues their extension of the championship lead. They're at 284 versus Mercedes, who are 98 points behind at 186. But Red Bull's starting to close in the gap on them. They're at 175 points. They're only 21 points behind Mercedes right now. And towards the midfield and right at the midfield, it's a dog fest between 5 teams: Williams, Aston, Alpine, VCarb, and Haas. Those 5 teams are separated by 15 points, with Williams on top with 32, and Haas and VCarb are at the bottom of that five car melee with 17 apiece. But we are here at Spa. We have 14 drivers on point tonight. So let's get a rundown of who is here and what cars are missing. So as you can see on the onboard, we have Savage in the Alpine. He'll have Track Racer as his teammate. We have Skither and Reese in the Mercedes. Reese filling in for Willow, who is not here again tonight. Second week running that Willow has missed an event. We have Cookie, the championship leader, with Gecko and the McLaren. We have Torn Penguin and TB in the Aston Martin. Goat Lee by himself in the Haas tonight. He does not have a teammate. That's one of the cars that are unavailable. We have Night Owl also by himself. He is in the Williams. No second Williams on hand because Maxwell cannot make it. We have Robin and Alex Norris in the Red Bull. Then we have Raphael and lastly we have Raphael and Shorts in the Ferrari. So cars that are missing, as we've just mentioned, no second Haas, no second Williams. Sauber, MIA tonight, but they're not the only team that's also MIA. We also do not have VCarb. So, if Goat Lee can get himself a couple of points, this would be nice for him because they would like to break that tie with V-Carb and move up to 8th in the Constructors. And as you can see, rain is in hand here. This is why everybody's out on the bout and just clamoring to get their space in. And here we go. I think pretty much this is gonna be the results here tonight. So Cookie on top with a 41.020. Savage, unfortunately, with a 42.9 for his time. Gecko with a 42.8. Let's see where the Ferraris are going to be. Shorts in the 5th position. Raphael back into the pits, and he invalidated his lap. So that is pretty much it. So only one person left to challenge Cookie's pole position time of a 41.020. That being Skither, who's just gone through No Name, is really out of control here, and the Bruxelles as well. And we just lost Trat immediately because of a disconnect. But yeah, so Skither, the only person yet to get a lap onto the board. Raphael invalidated his time, so if the rain is where it is and the track is too wet, as you can see with Skither, as he is struggling here. But here we go on with Skither, as he has struggled quite a bit. One of the last ones to get out onto the track. So this is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt him a lot. And back to the pits he'll go. And sadly, Skither, along with Raphael, will not get a lap in. So, with the rain in hand, that's pretty much it. Cookie secures pole. And this season, so this is going to be Cookie's 5th pole. This is going to be Cookie's 5th pole of the season. And that'll pretty much wrap it. So qualifying is all done here. So this is going to be your field as it sits. So Cookie will be on pole position. He'll have Robin alongside in 2nd. Alex Norris. Robin is going to be in 3rd. He'll have Reese alongside him. Shorts will be 5th with Gecko alongside. TB is in 7th with Night Owl in 8th. Torn Penguin 9th. Savage in 10th. Goatly 11th. Trap Racer 12th. And the back row with no time on the board, Skither and Raphael. Looks like Skither is back out onto the track, but as you can see from Eau Rouge, that is very wet. So, I mean, Skither is gonna at least try to get some kind of a time in, but it's not gonna be anything here, really. Let's see if we could get Trat Racer back in, because he did disconnect just a couple of moments ago, a couple of minutes ago, and just send an invite back to him so he can get back into the event. And as you can see, everybody has just about called it, with the exception of both Ferraris, Trat, but then again, it's because Trat is disconnected. But then again, I believe once the Ferraris and Skither retired, then we'll just be skipping straight to the race, because Trat is basically AI. So Night Owl was the guinea pig for the Night Owl was pretty much the guinea pig for the start of the racing here. But Night Owl, like I said, is the guinea pig. He got himself in 8th place, so he's basically dead on in the middle of this field. So, you'll like that. We do know that Skither is not going to be challenging for pole because the track is a bit too wet. So, I would say probably he's going to be... Well, we'll probably take a guess. Let's see how far behind Strat Racer he'll be by. I'm probably going to safely say he's probably going to be about probably within a second of Strat Racer. That's where he'll be, within 1 second of him. Maybe a couple of seconds. But DRS disabled, so no more DRS available, but I mean, literally there's only 2 DRS zones. Main straight before the source, and then the Camel straight as nice Tokyo Drift style right there. Well, we figure this out. I have a feeling I know what one guy is doing. Oh, she finally got knocked. She finally got eliminated. Okay, so 1, 2, 5 left. So, I was gonna say, I think, Invade, unless he was also spectating this, he's probably watching the Royal Rumble PLE right now. But if he's not, the Women's Rumble is currently active, and there's only 5 left. There's only 5 left in the, Rumble. Well, let's see. Oh, looks like it just refreshed again. Down to 3 now. Down to 3 for the Women's Rumble. Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, and Sol Ruka. Okay. Well, we know who will be the final 2. Look to that. Anyway, so looks like everybody has called it. But as you can see again, Cookie is pole position for the 5th time this season. Alex Norris is 2nd, and Robin in 3rd. And from what Robin just said in the chat, this is his first start in the Red Bull. So 3rd place on his start, not bad. But Skither and Raphael have a lot of work ahead of them. They have a lot of work. Alright. Well, as you can see, the rain is on hand, so it's going to be inters all the way around. I believe this is a 21 or 22 lap event. So, who will get the nod? Who will get the nod here? More than likely, the way this game is, I don't think people will probably be going the entire race on this inter set, on 1 inters. I think they will probably be pitting probably towards the halfway point of the event, unless they really want to take the risk. But you'll be waiting for the lights out. And here we go, the 5 lights come on to start the Belgian Grand Prix. And lights out, off we go. Very, very slow start as they head into turn number 1. Robin going 3 wide with Reese and Alex Norris. Very, very ballsy and risky attack there, but it didn't pan out the way he had hoped to advance positions, but more positions being changed up as there is cars going just slightly wide, Gecko going wide, TB went wide. Here we go into the end here as more cars battling it out. There's Savage battling with TB for the 8th place position, still side by side in Les Combs, and still trying to hang on. And now around the outside there's Shorts battling with Reese and Gecko too. Seen that in the foreground. And there we go. Reese falls back to 6th, Gecko to 5th, Shorts up to 4th. And everyone cycles out into place. Looks like Track Racer eyeballing Torn Penguin for the 10th place position. That's the final points paying position here on this field, as everybody is on the intermediate tires to get the ball rolling. Now, the only thing I do not know is if the rain's going to be around for the entire event, or it'll be phasing out later on. But looks like Night Owl just went a bit wide out of Blanchimont. That allowed oh no, sorry, that was Torn Penguin that went wide. That allowed Savage to take advantage. Oh, too deep. Too deep was Torn Penguin. A little too deep there. And Savage mainly got finagled out of that one. TB looking to go around the outside against Night Owl, trying to go for the 7th place spot. No dice on that one. And first lap, it is Cookie ahead of Alex Norris, Robin, Shorts. Skither inside of Goat Lee. Skither's just not having a great start at all here. And there's 3 wide in the background. There we go. Oh, contact. Another 3 wide. Skither gets ahead. Still 3 wide here. Torn Penguin backs off, and Goat Lee had to cut turn 6 of Les Combs after contact involved in that 3 wide skirmish. Multiple 3 wide skirmishes there. But Skither up into 11th place. Raphael up to 8th. And trying to chase Night Owl down for the 7th place position. Anyway, so Cookie, Alex Norris, Robin, Shorts, and Gecko. That is your top 5. The top 10, you have Reese, Night Owl, Raphael, TB, and Trat Racer making up the top 10. Was right on board with Trat as their TB gets a little squirrely out in campus, but manages to keep it intact. I did mention the top 10 as, let's go out to Shorts. He's eyeballing and attacking inside and past Robin for the 3rd place spot. There's Say Hi Gecko. How are you doing, sir? Robin tags again, gets the position back, and back to 3rd he goes. Now Gecko, slingshot on the inside. Bit of a muscling contact. More contact. Again, there goes Gecko trying to stay ahead. And Shorts goes wide off. Going up to the climb, we did see Gecko was slightly ahead, but Shorts just didn't want to give up any further and wound up cutting at the top of Eau Rouge. Trap Racer just on the background, attacking TB for the 9th place position, and he does so. Up and ahead he is. And now Gecko on Robin. I believe there was contact between the two. So Robin went a little wide. We're on board with Robin looking at the back cam. There's Reese, Shorts, and Night Owl in there. That tiny blip right there. There's Raphael in the 8th place position. About a couple of laps, we are gonna turn. We're gonna check on our stats to see as Robin dips it into the gravel. That's gonna slow him up just a little bit. That could leave him quite vulnerable to Reese and Shorts, potentially. As Reese is looking for an eyeballing attack, but there go. But speaking of eyeballing attack, Shorts sees an opportunity. There's heavy contact, but Reese holds him back. Hard to tell with that with the attack on the inside. We'll have to wait and see with that one. But Shorts, a little squirrely on the exit. He just completed 3 laps of this event. DRS is enabled, and there goes Reese inside and clear, ahead of Robin into the 4th place position. Meanwhile, here comes Skither looking for an eyeballing attack on the inside of TB, but not close enough to warrant that attack. Trap Racer gets past him to get in the 9th. And Skither just waiting for shot to attack here. And let's just notice TB has no left wing end plate. That's gonna hurt him just a tiny bit. Ayy! And Puhan, Reese, first of the penalties. That was in Puhan. Now, funny thing is that Eau Rouge, Radion, and Puhan are very notorious for track limit warnings and penalties in past races of RPL. Jesus, Reese goes into the gravel and just loses a lot of momentum. That's gonna make him very vulnerable there. And it looks like right at Blanchimont, Raphael muscles past Night Owl to get in the 7th. Just seeing that on the map and on our graphing demographic. Sorry that we did not catch that. We just wound up seeing Reese almost making a fatal error. Alex Norris is currently about 7/10 behind, and does have the DRS in hand. Let's see how much closer he's gonna get to Cookie here. He gains roughly about half the gap, pretty much. And it looks like TB just got passed by Skither. There he is, right there at the start of the Kemmel Straight. And Skither is up into 10th place. At the end of this lap, we will be going over to see where everybody's positions are, who are the biggest gainers, and who's the biggest losers. Let's get to the back end of the field here as Goat Lee and Torn Penguin having a little playtime of their own in Bruxelles. Torn Penguin tried to get past, but just couldn't get the momentum needed to finish the attack off. Right on board with Shorts as he's chasing Robin and Reese down. And there's Robin dipping again into the gravel. That's the second time in the past 3 laps And Robin has dipped a wheel in that gravel. And Skither just gets past Trap Racer in Blanchimont. And into that position he goes. Cookie has the fastest lap of this event. And once everybody passes on through, and Night Owl is going to be the first to make the move and go in. And TB right behind as well. So, our first people going into the pits. See how this pans out. So, let's not include TB and Night Owl here for the biggest gainers and losers presently. But the two biggest gainers right now, as there's Robin getting ahead of Reese back into 4th place. But Raphael is the biggest gainer right now with 7 spots gained ahead of Skither, who has gotten 5 positions. Biggest loser, unfortunately, is Torn Penguin, losing 3. I will not count Night Owl and TV for that because they just came into the pits. So I'm not counting them as losers in that point losers in that regard. So currently our closest battles right now is this 3-way fight between Robin, Reese, and Shorts. And we had Torn Penguin with Goat Lee for the 11th place position. Has that right now. Cookie, by the way, is 1.5 seconds clear of Alex Norris at this present time. And currently, all the way to the back end, Torn Penguin is about almost 20 seconds behind Cookie as it sits. Now, I wonder, is anybody who is thinking about going into the pits? There we go. Trap Racer and Savage going in. Well, this is not smart on Alpine. A double stack. That is going to hurt Savage. That's going to hurt Savage completely here. Wow. Here we go. DRS, everything out to play. And Reese going inside. Gets it. Breaks slightly later. And ahead back to 4th goes Reese. But remember though, Reese has that track limit penalty. So currently, as it sits, like if this race ended right now, Reese would drop to 7th because of that. And let's see, looking at this, so the guys that have already come in, Goat Lee, Savage, Night Owl, Torn Penguin, all them, as Robin just went pretty wide there. They're on the hard compound tires, while Trap Racer thinks, I don't think it's too wet. I think the track still might be too wet to be on this, so I'm gonna go on to a new set of inters. We'll see how it pans out. We'll have to see in regards to that, so we'll have to wait on this. As Cookie is in, Alex Norris is in, Gecko's staying out, Reese is in, Robin's in, Shorts is in. Raphael will be staying out, same as Skither. Gecko will be inheriting the lead. And these guys are going on to the hards as well. So, guess we'll have to wait and see in regards. See how this pans out. Looks like Night Owl. Looks like Trat is right on the tail of Night Owl. got the overtake, but he's out of ERS. We'll have to see in the corners on if. We'll have to see in the corners here on if Trat has the better grip. Let's see. I mean, Cookie. Let's see, Cookie's starting to gain a little ground. Starting to gain some ground here. But Trat is still still hanging on strongly here. But he is dumping a lot of battery to try to stay with Night Owl and them. And I believe if my memory's right, looks like Cookie has gained just over a second, just about a second on Skither already on this past lap. And Gecko has gone in. We'll switch to shorts here. And everybody else is in. So they are good to go. So everybody is in. And onto a new set. Onto the dry set tires. The only exception is Trat Racer. Trat Racer is still staying out. Is still on a set of inters. But here we go. Trat Racer right behind Raphael and Robin. Robin making a move. I'm making the move. Gets past. Gets passed by Raphael. And gets passed by Trat. Flag spike on Night Owl. But Trat is past Robin. Bear in mind, Raphael and Robin did just pit, so Trat is hanging cool in close ends with this group. And Goat Lee, the second person into the penalty box. And wildly enough, Trat Racer, in that second sector, is just over a quarter of a second slower than his previous fastest lap. As there goes, there, and Skither has had a malfunction in Blanchimont. Ooh, contact between Trat and Robin. That got a little dicey. Robin gets himself into back into 7th place. Oh, we'll see we'll see what's gonna happen here, pretty much. Switch back to this. Let's go to Reese as he's being chased by Shorts for the fourth. This battle for 4th. Still that 3-way between them and there. Trat Racer into the penalty box. Here goes Shorts on the inside, and up and ahead in the 4th he goes. Meanwhile, Robin's still being pressured by Trat Racer. Trat Racer does not have any ERS available to him. But he's hanging on. He's just trying to hang on. I mean, still in effect here. Let's see what Cookie's at with the second sector split. Is he going to be up there? Robin into the penalty box now. Second sector split. He's about 2 thousandths up in the second sector. So it seems to me that the hard tires are roughly on par with the inters for the pace. Let's see where Cookie is as he comes across. And he's now 2/10 back. Let's see where Trat will be on his mark. So Cookie about 2/10 off on there. Yeah, so Hards and the Inters are virtually identical with their pace. They're just about virtually identical. Trat does not have any ERS to help him out. Meanwhile, in the background, Skither passes TB to get himself in the 10th place. So, as it sits right now, if this race were to end as it stands, Reese would lose 5th to Raphael. Night Owl will jump both Robin and Trap Racer to get 7th. And Skither right now is about 3/10 behind Trap Racer. So Skither will be just about staying in the 10th place spot. So far, no dilemmas here. And now Cookie and Alex Norris has just set their fast laps, but then got responded hard by Gecko. As you can see, 52.7 for Cookie, 52.6 for Alex Norris, but then a 52.1 for Gecko. So about half a second faster that last lap between Gecko and Alex Norris. Now there goes Skither on the inside up against Night Owl and just makes it like clockwork, and in to 9th place goes Skither. So now Skither has an opportunity to go for 7th as he's 1.4 seconds behind Trat and 3.6 behind Robin. Meanwhile, Raphael trying to get in a DRS of Reese. Speaking of DRS, Gecko trying to get in DRS of Alex Norris. Once these cars cross the line, there'll be 10 laps left. Let's ride on board with Raphael just for a sec. Let's see how he's got things rolling here. About 200 up in the second sector. As Gecko closing even quicker onto Alex Norris. He's about 7/10 behind. So probably once these guys go up on Rouge and Radion, we will probably see an attack for the 2nd place spot. Whoa, shit, that was very terrifying. And Raphael gets a 10-second corner cup penalty. I mean, he locked up and just went completely over. I mean, maybe Raphael could get that removed because he lost quite a lot of time. Because he lost well over a second to Reese there. So, I mean, there could be an argument that, yes, he made a mistake, and he tried to rejoin proper. I mean, but he couldn't really do it in the bus stop chicane right. So he did cut the bus stop and got that 10. I think he could probably get that taken off. If he has to. But on a different note, Gecko not close enough to go for an attack on Alex Norris here to go for the 2nd place spot. Savage switches with Trat. Trat did get off of those inters. Did have to do a second stop. So, Trat is now on... I think he's probably on mediums right now. Or is he on hards? Oh, he's on hards, okay. Good to know. We have a few battles. We have a few battles to watch out for. We have Goat Lee on Torn Penguin for 11th. TB on Night Owl for 9th. Robin and Raphael for the 6th place position. Looks like he's trying to reclaw and get back into DRS with Reese, and he does so. But we are focusing on this fight. The battle for 2nd between Gecko and Alex Norris. This is what Gecko's gonna need. He's within striking distance for a shot, but one thing to note, ERS availability. Alex Norris has a 30% of, well, just about a 30% differential here. And here we go. Overtake deployed by both drivers. Here comes Gecko. Will he go for the shot here? Gets to about 220 on the outside now. Between these two, there's side-by-side contact. Slip slide by Gecko, and Alex Norris fends him off for the time being. Meanwhile, Reese gets passed by Raphael for the 5th place spot. TB now into the penalty box. That is not what he wants, but he is over 10 seconds clear of Torn Penguin. So TB is pretty much safe. Trat Racer retakes 12th from Savage. Goat Lee in there with him. Battle at the back of the field. And now, here we go. Alex Norris versus Gecko Part 2. This time they are a lot closer. Jesus! Little rough around the edges, and Gecko got himself a penalty for that. And, ooh! And Alex Norris in that background looked like Gecko's. I think Gecko might have inadvertently squeezed, and Alex Norris wound up taking a wide line in the bus stop. Now Gecko is ahead of Alex Norris and has to turn to jets to run off. TB now into the pits for a 2nd stop. 9-lap-old hards, and those hards are pretty much dead in the water. Pretty much. I believe TB is probably on a new set of hards. No, he's on a set of mediums. But TB will be dropping to the 13th place position with Goat Lee, and now Torn Penguin is in the 10th place position. But that battle for 10th is a lot closer than you think, because Trat Racer is in there, Savage is in there. I mean, Trat does have a 3-second penalty, but Savage does have a possible opportunity to, I believe he'll be going for his 3rd points finish of the season. He's looking at it. We're on board with Reese. There's Raphael ahead of him, trying to keep tabs on him. And Skither trying to get within DRS of Robin to eyeball for 7th. Now bear in mind though, Skither does have a chance. He will have a shot to go for 6th right now, because he is 2.7 seconds behind Reese and 0.8 behind Robin. Now Raphael does have that 10-second corner cut, but like I said, he locked up, almost hit Reese, came close to hitting Reese, and went wide off into the bus stop, and he had the cut, he had to cut the bus stop because he didn't want to rejoin onto the track and wind up endangering himself to Robin. And that resulted in Raphael getting that 10-second corner cut. But because Raphael lost over a second and a half to Reese, as there goes Skither down the inside, and done and dead. Up in the 7th goes Skither. But yeah, because of that mistake, Raphael went from being about 3/4 behind Reese to being close to 2 seconds behind. So Raphael did lose a significant amount of time. So maybe that could curry favor to potentially maybe getting that 10-second taken down if the stewards go for that. But that is up to them. Speaking of which, Trat Racer did get past Torn Penguin to get himself in the 10th. And now Trat, if he wants to get himself a points finish here, he's got to basically get within 3 seconds clear of those behind. Right now, he is clear of Savage, just about, but he's got to pull 2.2 seconds gap to Torn Penguin if he wants to keep that position. We just started lap 17 of the Belgian Grand Prix, and currently it is as Skither sets the fastest lap of the event, and the rain has stopped. Rain has officially stopped, so now the question is what will happen? We'll see the times crumbling down even further as Skither, seeing his teammate and roaring in and pushing his way in, and goes ahead of Reese and gets himself in the 6th place. Now to be fair, there's about 5.5 laps left. Skither is about 2 seconds behind Raphael at this point. So, I mean, in essence, if Raphael does get lucky to get that 10-second taken off, Skither will be like, I want to get by him on the track. That's all I care about. Just going for it. So we'll see what will happen in that sense as Trat Racer currently with an update here. Trat Racer is about 2.2 seconds ahead of Torn Penguin. So Trat Racer needs to get at least another 7/10 of a second here, and he will be looking at a points position. But he's got TB to deal with. TB coming in pretty quick. Gecko puts it onto the... We get ourselves into the sub 150s. Right on with Raphael as he's into the 150s. Let's take a look at our fast laps here. So 49.9 for Gecko, and Skither about 2/10 behind him. Almost a quarter of a second back. So let's switch over to the battle for the final points position right now. It's between Trat and TB. Torn Penguin, by the way, 2.7 seconds behind Trat. 2.8. So any moment now, Trat Racer will be clear of Torn Penguin. 4/10 right now, and we got a safety car. We have a safety car. This changes everything now. Who wound up dying? Who died? Somebody died. It's Robin! Robin's the dead! No wing on that car! So, the safety car out. So Robin if I had to say, he probably crashed somewhere in Les Combes. And that's why we have a safety car now. So this is gonna be quite interesting. Because now everybody will be coming in and get themselves some soft tires. And a double stack on McLaren. But doesn't change. Oh, never mind. And Jesus! Raphael now with a speeding penalty! Oh my god! Well, this is gonna be... This is really going to hurt. This is really gonna hurt Raphael here. Now, to be fair, he will have one of his 10 seconds taken off. But the one that's gonna be staying... The one that's staying... is more than likely the speed, so the speeding penalty's there, and he has died. Oh no, he's retired in the pits. He's retired coming out of the pits. So that's gonna that was on the exit of the pits where he came out. Because he retired coming out of the pits, so does that constitute as retiring on the track? Because he did it as he came out of the pits. So, he just passed the pit exit and then retired because that's where it was. And that's our first DNF of the event. Alright, so let's reset everything for you. So, Cookie has the lead over Alex Norris. Gecko is sitting in third. Shorts is 4. Skither, with a strong recovery, is in 5th. Reese 6, Robin 7, Night Owl in 8th, Trat 9, TB 10, and then the 3 cars out of the points is Torn Penguin in 11th, Goatly 12th, Savage in 13th. So Cookie has 1 warning. Alex Norris, I believe... Yeah, so Alex Norris has 1 warning. So Cookie and Alex Norris both have 1 warning for track limits, and that was actually when they went onto the hards. Shorts has 2 warnings on his part. So Shorts is at risk of a penalty if he gets 1 more warning here. And Skither also... Oh, no. Skither has 1 warning, because he had a collision with Torn Penguin. And... a brand new set for a sauce for TB. Interesting change there. So that's going to put Goat Lee in 11th, Savage 12th, and TB will be in 13th. Now, I believe, given where everybody is, and how long this track is, we should be going green this time by. So we're going to have a 2-lap shootout to finish this race. So, 2 laps. Shorts is looking for a potential podium. Skither also looking for a potential podium. Night Owl is looking at substantial points. Because currently, as you can see, he is right within 3 seconds of Gecko. So if he can somehow stay in that space, Night Owl could possibly look at 5th for Williams. He could. But everybody is filing in, and the safety car should be taking off momentarily. Here we go. Safety car is in. The Cookie is within the speed here. Currently at about 65 miles an hour, so just a little over 100 kilometers an hour, about 110-ish. About close to 105 to 110. That's where he is there. Now let's see how Alex Norris will respond to a Cookie takeoff. The last time Cookie led this track, that's exactly where he took off! Alex Norris caught sleeping! Alex Norris fell asleep on there. And we are back under green here in Spa. Cookie almost a full second clear of Alex Norris. That was a beautiful start there. As there goes Reese being battled by Robin. Robin sticking a nose in, trying to make it happen. Goat Lee has spun in La Source. And Robin now trying his damnedest. He wants to get ahead of Reese here to get some best positions in hand here. Let's see, where is he going to make a move for an attack here? I wouldn't recommend it, as they stay in place. Shorts, so you can see in the background on the screen, trying to chase Gecko down for the third place position. Robin still all over the back there. There's Night Owl looking to say hi here as well. Goat Lee spins out again in La Source. And I just saw from the map. Did he? I don't think he did reset. I could be wrong there. TB with a second track limit penalty. Shorts trying to get himself some marks here. Let's take a look at our gaps here. So Gecko will only drop to 5th place. He's about 1.4 seconds clear of Skither right now. Night Owl will not be looking at 5th here, but he's looking at 6th possibly. Here we go, final lap, sponsored by Lenovo. And DRS is enabled, and Reese is in trouble. Reese is in trouble because Robin is all over the back of him, and Reese is over 2 seconds behind Skither. Here we go, Robin on the outside, looking for the attack. Oh, jeez, collision, crash. Gecko inside of Alex Norris. And Alex Norris goes for a spin. What in the living world did we just watch? We saw Reese and Robin collide. We saw Gecko attack Alex Norris, with Alex Norris going for a spin. Look who's in 5th right now! Trat Racer! You have got to be kidding me. Trat Racer in the 5th place spot, but he does have a track limit penalty. That means Night Owl's looking at 5th. You gotta love the camera of on this game. It's just so stupid. You watch one crash, see another incident, and then you can't even get the incident after that. That's a load of crap. But, wow. Well, they were tied at 38 wins, and into the final corner, he commanded the race from start to finish. Cookie will be getting win number 39. He wins in Spa. Shorts will be getting 2nd. Skither will be 3rd. And hands off to Night Owl, 5th on the place. Trat Racer, welcome back to Tier 1 with a 6. Torn Penguin 7th. Alex Norris 8th. Reese 9th. Robin in 10th. What a clusterfuck. And Robin saying that was his mistake on Reese. I mean, we did catch it before the camera cut away. There was a bump in the back, and then they both gone around. But, damn. Damn. Our Cookie win number 39 on point. And there it is. So, game does give the driver of the day to Skither. I do agree. He definitely deserved that. But there it is. So, Cookie is your winner over Shorts. Skither is in third. Gecko 4. Night Owl 5. Trat Racer 6. Torn Penguin in 7th. Alex Norris 8th. Reese 9. Robin in 10th. Savage 11th. TB12. Goat Lee 13th. And Raphael, the only DNF, in 14th. Holy cow. Well, like I said, I believe I will be giving Skither driver today. Basically gained 10 positions, so he definitely earned that there. No doubt about it. And also, honestly, Skither, not only, like I said, he has the driver today, but I'm also going to be, but also for the lead green light, he gets that as well, with other contenders for driver today, but there's also 2 other green lights. For Night Owl and yeah, so lights out in RPL. Who is the best? Who is the worst? Let's get this show on the road here. So green light will be going to Skither. Started practically dead last and recovered to 3rd place. Solid stuff on that one. Other green lights include other green lights include Cookie for basically getting a grand slam for RPL, and now having win number 39, and he is now 4 behind Luke to get the record. And then other contenders in there as well, alongside with Cookie, we have Night Owl getting a shocking 5th place, and Trat Racer, first race back in Tier 1 after a long while, gets 6th place. I am going to say yellow light. I'm going to give yellow light to Robin for making 2 mistakes. The first mistake was for the crash somewhere around Liscolm to Bruxelles that caused that CT car to occur. And then that last lap incident with Reese, which he did own up to, that was a bit of a fault mistake on his part. But anyways, aside from, but yeah, that's pretty much that one. So that's the only yellow light right there. The exit, let's go home. So that's what did it. Rip on his part. And then red light and fail of the day. We're gonna give that to Raphael for. I mean, we can't excuse we are not going to count the mistake in the bus stop. That won't be counted against them. But the speeding penalty and then retiring at pit exit, that was just pretty silly, honestly. Okay, so that is going to conclude the stream for today. One thing I forgot to note earlier on in the stream was the aforementioned of Tier 2 yesterday. That was in Brazil. If you did not see that, highly recommend you go and watch it. But Josh was the winner of that event after taking advantage of proper tire call and wound up getting the Tier 2 championship. So, next week, we'll be kicking off what essentially is going to be the second half of the season for Tier 1 and the start of Season 20 for Tier 2. And this is essentially going to be basically we're on the home stretch. We're basically getting to the home stretch the end of the F125 cycle before F125 DLC. So, Tier 2 on Friday will be at Bahrain for their race there. And Tier 1 will be kicking off the second half of the season in Hungary. So, from RPL Streets, Ty and I will signing off. We will say good night, and we will see you next week.